Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Yeah, today we have, as usual, we have to delve on issues affecting the Nigeria petroleum industries and the Nigeria economy at large. So today is not different from what we normally do. So, but what is different today is that some of these thieves or these people who has been exploiting our natural resources are stealing them for their own benefit or for their own selfish benefit. One of them was caught, I would say, although they are being caught every day. But you know what happened? Once they are caught, then the next thing you know, then they set them free, or they destroy all the evidence that they have. So, but we know the people that are doing these things, although some of them, because of the so-called power that be, they are not prosecuted or neither are they brought to the book. So, like this one, you can just see it's empty Tura the second. You know, that was a scandal that took place. How Kabas stole. How Kabas, not just here, they want to present it like it was one cabal or whatever. How Kabas stole crude oil from Nigeria. You know, so they do it all the time. So it's not like it's a new thing. So, but this one is that they were caught by our local security outfit, you know, the Tompolo security company. You know, so here it said vessel arrested in 2015, in 2013 was disappeared, but disappeared in EFCC's custody. How can the vessel be caught by uh, this TSSNL, the private pipeline surveillance company owned by Topolo? You know, if you don't know who Tompolo is, he's a militant leader, government, Epemu Polo, alias Tompolo, you know, in Niger Delta, that the security companies saved nation security a total embarrassment. You know, just this Friday, and that was yesterday. So they said lamentably, no matter how security officials shows off and deodorize, they take into custody of the infamous ocean-going vessel MT Tura the second, International Maritime Organization IMO number 662046 say caught with illegal 150,000 metric tons of illegal crude oil worth $86.8 million. So this this vessel was caught by TSSNL and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps operatives. He said it remains an appalling affair. Commanders of Operations Delta Safe South-South Operations Rear Admiral Olusegun Ferreira and Nigerian Navy ships NNS Delta Commando Chindo Yahya were on board the villainous vessels in their full insignia at Oporosa Community, Baratu Clan, Ori Southwest local government area of Delta State. That is where TSSNL anchored it after the seizure to brief reporters. So I think what I'm trying to say here is that if TSSNL, you know, has not anchored the ship and brief reporters about it, definitely that thing would not have happened, which means the so-called security operatives would have done what they usually do, you know, take their bribes and whatever and set it free, etc. But because this TSS NL exposed them after they caught these vessels, exposed them, with all their bribe offerings and things like that, rejected. So because they were exposed, then they have no choice but to try to prove like the security or the so-called Nigerian Navy and all the other security agencies try to take the shine like, oh yeah, we've done our job, our boys, told us or they gave us some informations about this whole operations of this so-called uh, bunkers, you know. So therefore we came into the scene and tried to carry out our what we were supposed to, to do by either arresting them and what have you. In fact, they were never arrested. It was the TSSNL, that is Tompolo's security outfit, that did the job and finished the job. Then these people came there to take the shine or to do the shine, like yes, now that the Tompolo's outfit were actually the ones who gave them the information. Then they came to carry out the arrest. That was not the truth. That was not true. Because if they were the ones that have to be involved right from the onset, definitely they would not have done the job. What they would have done is to go there and blow the cover, take the money they're supposed to take, and lead them out into the high sea, and give them a cover. So, but because the TSSNL, the captain of that TSSNL was Waredi Enisuo Livia, the Nigerian National Corporation Limited, NNPCL, and SCL, NSCDC representatives were only there, to try to claim or to try to take the shine, from the main man himself. So that was what they did. So, but what we are here to say now is that whatever they are trying to tell you, don't buy into it, because it's full of thieves. We know that right from time. That's what they be doing. That's what they know how to do, and yet they want to deceive everyone, to buy into what they are selling. But we are not buying it because we know what the truth is. So now they are trying to take the shine. They come straight to the newspapers and they try to say what is not actually the truth by shutting the mouth of the security forces. The same thing that they be doing all the while. So if they don't do their job and somebody else is there to do their job for them, then they will go there. They will be the first to go there, to try to pose at the stars, because they are the ones who the constitutions actually, you know, empower, to play these roles. But these roles, they are not playing it good. They only play it when it's time to shine for the press. So an example is just the Amuteku and the ESN. So when they do their job appropriately to try to defend their territory or defend their people from all these terrorists and thieves, then the next thing you see, the commissioner of police will come there and say, yes, we caught some some rogues, from some thieves, from this, from that, or terrorists, from carrying out their operations. And in some cases, they will kill those good guys who are trying to protect their communities. They kill thousands, if not, they kill hundreds, if not thousands of people in the southeast over the years. Then what they just have to do is just to brand them criminals, and that's it. Meanwhile, the same people are the same people who are trying to protect their communities from being eroded, from being uh, invaded by some criminals who are coming from the Sahel, who have no business being there in the first place. So, but because these people are being protected by the Nigerian security forces, then in no time, if you get them involved, they kill you and they call you the villain, the thieves, or they call you the terrorist. So I think Tompolo himself should be careful, or his security outfit should be careful when they involve. So because if you want your security to be guaranteed, first of all, I think you have to continue with this kind of mode of operation, because before you call the Nigerian security or the Nigerian Navy, or you involve them, first you have to call the press. Because if not, if you call the Nigerian Navy and you happen to find yourself with the wrong set of Navy or wrong set of operatives or security operatives, the army and what have you, they can waste you. They set you up and call you the oil thieves or the oil bunkers. So that's what they be doing. So here you can see, say we are sure that the investigation into the arrest of the MT Turad 2 had commenced in earnest, and those arrested will be further scrutinized, for the role of the crime. So, but the people who are doing all this, they are the same people that will set this same, because this same ship disappeared under the guise of being held by the EFCC. So why can't everybody now know that the EFCC are involved, in the disappearance of the same this same ship and this cargo? So just imagine. So the operatives on July the 7th, 2023, is the same as the MT Ali Riza Bay, which the NNS Cobra on July 28, 2013 apprehended while transferring petroleum products, suspected to be automotive gas oil cargo, to some smaller boats offshore in Escravos. So the Nigerian Navy handed over the MV SOA, which originally applied to the NNS Beecroft, to lift cargo from Calabar to Lagos with a valid clearance until August 2013. An MT Ali Riza BEY with 6 suspects to the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, October 2nd of 2013, for further investigations and possible prosecution. Against the Standing Operation Procedures, SOP, and approval granted, MV SOA was operating in Esclavos, while MT Ali Riza Bay, now MT Tura, which means that same ship as at that time in 2013, that was MT Ali Riza Bay, is now MT Tura the second in 2023. So they were doing the same, doing the same surreptitious craft. So which means they were doing the same kind of operation that they've been doing all this while. So the truth is that an oil cartel has engaged MT Tura 2 in the last 12 years in, in pilfering crude oil from Nigeria to the neighboring countries. Just imagine how they see Nigeria. Neighboring countries, so all these small, our neighbors, you know. So that's where they be operating from now. If you look at this whole people now, whole operations now, you find out that these people has been operating ever since. Because if you are making money from a certain, you know, a certain channel, and you know how to go about it, and you know all the security, operatives that you have to bribe in order for you to smuggle your things through. Definitely, you wouldn't want to do it some other ways or from another channel. So now these whole people who has been involved in all this, that's why, you know, that's why if a government is in place, first of all, I think what has to be done is to change all those same people who has been at the borders, who has been at those channels, etc., and bring in some new, fresh, not just only the ones at the head, even the other ones who has been at the bottom, who has been in that same area, has to be at least, remove them and bring in some fresh people into that place. People with, good credibilities, etc. Then, which means things will be done separately and differently. So because now all this ship that has been seized, so a ship that was seized in 2013, all of a sudden, you know, find itself under a new name, but yet it's the same ship, the same crew, the same people, the same thieves. Then they be operating all this while until now they were busted again. I guess they were only busted because maybe the Tompolo Security Maritime Services, fail or refuse to accept their bribes or their money. So because if they actually accept their money or their bribes, I don't think we'll be talking about this today now, because you know they will just go on and start doing things the way they be doing it before. All they have to do is to get in touch with them again and say, on this day, on this day, we'll be on track, or be coming to steal some oil again, and they will say yes. All you have to do is bring your money, etc., etc., and they will, you know, allow them again to go through that same channel without any problem, because that's what they've been doing all the while, without any interference from anyone. So all these Nigerian navies and so-called commanders, whatever, and other security operatives who are operating in those channels or in those areas, they've been known by even the locals to be the ones actually, who are being involved in all of this stealing, either by abetting or aiding the smuggling of the crude oil produce and products. So it's not a new thing. So, but what is new here is that, they be busted, arrested, and yet under the EFCC custody, they also escaped. So here it shows that, it said, finally showed that the vessels built in Turkey in 1965 with a storage capacity of 500,000 metric tons was first registered under the name Ali Riza Bay in Togo. You see, just in Togo, and found its way to Nigeria waterways in 2012 when it resumed illegal bunkering operations, conveying stolen crude to Ghana, Cameroon, and Togo, and offloading it to other vessels. So that's what they be doing. They steal this crude oil from Nigeria. You go through the neighboring countries, Ghana, Benin, then to Togo, and they go to the high sea and they offload into another bigger vessel, which is bound for wherever. Just like the slavery days when they were cutting our people away and stealing our people, then putting them in the bigger ships, then sailing into the ocean. So to South America, Brazil, North America, Europe, etc. That's exactly what they're still doing now with our with our with our commodities and our natural resources. Now they take our natural resources, with the smaller vessels, they take them to the bigger ships, and they sail into the deeper oceans and deeper seas. So, and then when they get to Europe, then Europe will welcome them. You don't ask them how they got those things, because everybody is doing the same thing. Europe is stealing from Africa, Americans are stealing from Africa, the Australians and all other Europeans, Asians, they are stealing from Africa. So nobody challenge where they are bringing these things from and how legit those things are, because they know they are all stealing this whole thing from Africa. So nobody actually care. So if Africa thinks that they care, those people care, they don't really care. So they are stealing our money and looting our resources at our own expense, and our people are just there taking, you know, the crumbs, taking the crumbs from them, accepting the crumbs from them, and they are playing big man, at the expense of the Nigeria or Africa in general. So at the end, who is to blame? Blame your leaders. I blame our leaders for it. So that's the way it is. So but like now, you had the other time when after seizing the ships that was loaded with crude oil, then the next thing, then they set it ablaze and they burn it. So it's like destroying the evidence, you know. So destroy the evidence so that you will not have any evidence to prove anything as far as trying to send those sailors or those people who were found or border ships to jail. Because if the evidence is destroyed, then what else have you got to prove your case in the law court? So imagine the resources that was destroyed, and imagine the manpower and all the efforts that was put into that to make sure that this produce or the ship with the illegal products was seized or arrested, or they were placed under a certain custody. So, but the funniest thing in this whole thing is that the EFCC, were the ones that arrested the ship. Why must EFCC be involved in everything these days? It's like the Nigerian Navy don't have any job doing anymore. Nigerian Navy will do its own thing, then EFCC will get involved. Nigerian Navy is supposed to have its own police. They have their own prosecuting teams that were supposed to do things and do it logically. It's not like everything now has to be EFCC. If they seize Igbo for Abbey, in Delta State, then EFCC will be involved. If they seize Tramadol in the north, EFCC will be involved. If they seize goods at the Diroko border, EFCC will be involved. If they seize Tuwo Shikanfa that was being smuggled from Niger, through this EFCC will be involved. If they seize ammunitions that are being smuggled all the way from Libya into Niger Republic or Chad, into Nigeria and northern Nigeria, EFCC will be involved. Then the two people are fighting somewhere about 419, and so EFCC will be involved. What the hell is? Well, I mean, EFCC. The man that made the EFCC possible and popular was Obasanjo himself. Under the Ribadu. So ever since then, all of a sudden, because EFCC was so given those kind of serious ovation then, Now it's like EFCC has become a burden upon itself. It's either EFCC becomes a body of itself or another security outfit of his own, not under the police, under his own, or EFCC should just stay under the police and just do their job like the police force. So because I don't see anything special about EFCC anymore, because the time of EFCC popularity, has long gone. So ever since now, even the SARS that was trying to be introduced to the Nigerian police, another section of the Nigerian police force again, that they thought were going to be another special operative unit. Then they shot themselves in the foot, because at the end of the day, they showed, or they were exposed, or they showed themselves for who they really are, because all they were doing was just concentrating on the youth. Actually, if you have a telephone like iPhone or any big phone, you know, then you attract them immediately because they see you as as someone who have money. So definitely they will accuse you of being a Yahoo boy. So when they say Yahoo boy, it means that you are a scammer, or uh, or or uh, or you know, or a thief of some sort. If they see you with a laptop, then you are declared a criminal. So it doesn't matter whether you are an IT consultant, or whether you are, an engineer, or whether you are a student or whatever. So everybody becomes a Yahoo boy, especially when they see you as a young man. So that's what they be doing. So either they seize your phone, they take your phone, or they force you, you know, to transfer money to a certain account so that you be let go or you be set free. So that's what they be doing. So it becomes another blackmail, or a tool of blackmail. So if you are caught, you are asked to either pay yourself, with your this thing, or they check your account and see what you have in your account. If you have 5 million naira in your account, it doesn't matter whether that money was sent to you by your father or your brother who lives abroad to do something for him, and they ask you to send. If it's 2 million, they see that they can ask you to send 1.8 million naira to a certain account in order for you to be set free. Or else they will write a statement and force you to send that statement that you that will implicate you or involve yourself, or to implicate you or yourself to be a criminal. Or they will write a statement and ask you to sign it. And if you say you're not signing it, they'll beat the shit out of you to the extent that you won't know when you sign that thing. So a lot of people must have died, you know, like that, without nobody actually knowing what happens or what happens to them. Why some families are still waiting for those people to return home without knowing that those people has been wasted by the so-called Nigerian police or Nigerian Navy or Nigerian Army. So you can imagine that kind of world of terror that they live in. These same people, they know where the criminals are, but these same criminals have their immunity or have their cover and have their so-called informers within the Nigerian security forces. So definitely they don't go to them. Some of these people are responsible by politicians. So definitely they know who to call when they have a problem, and they know where to go. So they are not bothered by anyone. They are not bothered by any. They are not scared. By the operatives themselves. So they know what they are doing, and they actually are not bothered at all. So it's the innocent people that actually suffer when it comes to things like this. So the innocent ones are the ones suffering it. So why the criminals get away with it? The terrorists runs free. They go about with Babariga and Gadas and the rest, you know, and they are applauded because most of them are politicians themselves, and they boast in the public about the kind of clout they have. within the society. So they are not scared of anyone. Neither are they scared of the government. Because when it's time for politics, they will be the ones to guarantee the government or so many votes. They assume the power that they don't actually have. And then so far, they get away with it without, without anything happening. No repercussion, nothing. So this ship that was actually seized by the Sampolo's security outfit, I think to me it's a very good thing that the Sampolo security outfit was able to pull out that, you know, that good job with that powerful result. So, but at the end of the day, we all see to what happened. So at the end of the day, it gets to the hands of the EFCC or the security service, then they'll be the ones again to take money and open the back door for that same ship to disappear. And if they cannot do that, then the next thing is to take the evidence and take it somewhere and set it ablaze and burn it. So that's what they've been doing all this while, and that's what they continue to do. So, but it's our job to keep talking and talking, so that maybe at the end of the day, there's somebody out there we hear our talk, or hear our say, or hear our plea, and try to do something about it. So that's what we are saying now. So that's what we are saying. That's what we continue to say. That the right thing has to be done. If not, what's the need of having security, Nigeria security, like the police, the navy, and the army, when they can't even do their job? So the terrorists are having a field day in Borno, Yobe, and other parts of the north. And yet, the Nigerian army are getting fatter in their stomach, eating this here pepper soup and all kinds of scrap bullshit, boasting around, beating civilians all in the streets, while they are scared to go and face the actual terrorists or the actual criminals in their own enclave. The same criminals and the jihadists have set up their own government in some part of the country, and yet nobody's talking about it. So it's only where there's no war, where there's no problem, that's where they go to and make their presence known. They can't even wear their uniform in those areas that I'm talking about and walk free because they be scared. So, but where there is space, they come there, they wear their uniform, walk around, beat anybody beatable or anyone they feel they can beat without any repercussion. So that's what they do. Get their uniform is to oppress. Get their gun is to oppress. Get them cap or beret is to oppress. Whom are they oppressing? The civilians that pays their salaries, that pays their bills. That's not fair. So the people should be awakened, either in their spirit or in their thoughts or in their mind, and try to do what is right. So the new government that is just there right now, if you have one more day to stay there, or one more week to stay there, better start doing the right thing. Start doing the right thing right away. So stop all this hypocrisy and stop all these tribal, ethnic divisions that you are creating ever since you came on board. That's what you've been doing so far. So we saw it in Lagos, how they were destroying shops that have been built over the years in Alaba. The same shops that they have been paying taxes to the local government or the local council for. All of a sudden, just because of the election has come and gone, and they saw how the election went, then they took it out, to try to diminish the influence of the Igbos in that area, or they try to push them down under to make them to succumb to blackmail. So but whatever it is, it has to stop. This someone Lu, and his councils, the councils that were involved in that. I think someone Lu have to see to that. If he knows he don't have a hand in it, but if you have a hand in it, he should tell us actually why he's doing what he's doing. Because when it comes to local politics, they will still come there and beg for votes. So, but now that it was during the national politics, when you saw that these things were not going this way, or the thing went the other way, then after the election, they now came with that strong hand, you know, to mete out all kinds of unwarranted hardship on some families. So all these ethnic politics have to stop. Or if you don't want these people to be a part of the union called Nigeria, why not? This is the right time for all of you to join voices with those who actually want Biafra. So I won't be surprised if some Yoruba groups also canvass for Biafra and support Biafra. Just like some people who tend to have some selfish reason are also canvassing for Biafra now and asking the president-elect to support Biafra. So that would be good if you can do that, because I don't see any great thing that the Biafrans are actually benefiting from the present day government or from the present Nigeria as a country. So that is it. Biafra is it. Oduduwa is it. So, and whichever republic we want to break out, so be it. It's not a must that Nigeria have to be one. It's never a must. Nothing like that. Nigeria was not created by God to be one. If not, we would not have had all these, sections and sections and sections that have lived together and that have lived all by themselves for hundreds of thousands of years before the colonial masters came and tried to fuse everyone together, even without knowing anything about the other side. So, if Nigeria have to break, let it break. And let everyone have their peace. And let everyone develop at the space. As simple as that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching Niger Matters. Niger Matters is here to stay. So, but thank you for your support so far. So good. So gradually, we are moving on, and gradually, things are getting better. So with time, we'll be able to actually develop and take this community, bring this community together, and take it one step at a time to a higher height. So that's what we hope to do. So as you all know, we keep our fingers crossed. I'll keep bringing you all the latest both economic news, political news, entertainment news, etc. As far as it affects our lives in Africa and Nigeria, we continue to tender it and discuss it. I hope to find solutions to all these problems. So that is what we are here to do. So please give us a thumbs up, share our videos, and let it go viral. Thank you for coming to Nigeria Matters. Nigeria Matters.